Hello everybody, my name's John, a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest video recipe. So today we're making a lovely traditional soft cheese, and I'll be using a soft cheese set from cheeseandyogurtmaking.com. It just makes everything nice and easy. But if you already have the ingredients at home, feel free to just follow along with me. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. And the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more, and that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video, including our website store products. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. Before starting any cheese project, make sure all your equipment is sterilised. I like to use boiling water. As this soft cheese is a high temperature recipe, I'm just going to heat it up directly on the gas hob. And for this recipe you need 4 litres, that's 7 pints of whole milk, and it's always best if you can use unhomogenised if you can. Once the milk's in, get the lid on the pan. Now get your thermometer clipped to the side of the pan. You do get a great thermometer and pan clip with the kit, but for videoing purposes I'm going to use my large one. Right, with the heat on medium, I'm going to bring that up to 90 degrees Celsius, that's 195 Fahrenheit, occasionally stirring now and then. Okay, after about 20 minutes my milk is up to temperature, so get the heat turned off. Give it a quick stir, and that's just cream sitting on the top of the milk. Now we need to cool the milk down as quickly as possible. And the best way to do that is to get the pan into a sink of cold water. And to help that process along a bit, I'm going to add a jug full of ice cubes. To give you an idea, I'll set the timer on count up mode to see exactly how long this takes to get from 90 degrees Celsius, that's 195 Fahrenheit, to the target temperature of around 22 degrees Celsius, that's 70 Fahrenheit. Okay, now we've reached that target temperature, and that only took about 30 minutes. The actual temperature needs to be 20 Celsius, that's 68 Fahrenheit, but by the time I get ready for the next stage it'll have dropped another couple of degrees. Time to move on to the next stage of adding the culture and the rennet. Time to add the cheese culture or starter. I use this ice cube method. Check out my cream cheese video on how you make these starters. It's dead easy to do, and it's all included in the soft cheese kit. From one little packet of culture in the kit, you get enough to make 60 of these cubes. That's enough to make 30 batches of top quality soft cheese. And if you don't want to go through making those, you can always use these single shot cheese cultures, which you can order separately from the same company. But I think it's much better and cheaper to use the ice cube method. Another and a quicker way to inoculate the milk is if you've already got the mesophilic culture, you can add 1/8 of a teaspoon directly to the milk and stir it in gently. Okay, I'll just pop in 2 of those culture ice cubes. Give that a quick stir until the ice cubes have melted. This cheese culture is what gives your cheese its flavour, and it also helps set the milk once we add the rennet. Time to sprinkle a teaspoon of the rennet powder over the top of the milk. And if you don't already know, the rennet helps set the milk, and that's where you get your curds. By the way, this particular powdered rennet that comes with the kit is vegetarian. And if you get any cream floating about like that, don't worry about it, those will disappear once we get to the mixing stage. Now give that a slow gentle stir for about 30 seconds. Okay, to let the culture and the rennet do its work, let that sit at room temperature for 24 hours. Right, it's been 24 hours, so let's see if the milk has set. And as you can see through the cream, yes it has. The rennet has done its job. Marvellous. And now it's time to separate the curds from the whey. Get a large bowl and place a colander inside it. Now line the colander with your clean and sterilised cheesecloth. Now all you have to do is to start spooning all of the curds and whey into the lined colander. And a very quick mention to the channel's Patreon, PayPal, Super Thanks and YouTube's new membership supporters. I'll do the name splash and shout out a little later in the video. Once all of the curds and whey are in the colander, bring the corners of the cheesecloth together and tie them off as shown. We now need to hang the cheesecloth for 24 hours. I like to use my stand mixer and a cupboard shelf with this huge wooden spoon to hang mine. So use your imagination to where you can hang yours, but find somewhere where it won't be disturbed for 24 hours. Now keep an eye on it for the first couple of hours to make sure that the bowl you've used is big enough to take all of the whey. Ask me how I know. Right, that's mine hanging, and now simply let that drain for 24 hours. And you can take the colander out of the bowl at this point, I just forgot. Okay, it's 24 hours later and the cheese is drained. Transfer it to a clean bowl. Untie the cloth and roll it out. Now get a spatula and give it a good mix. And as you can see, we have a beautiful, rich and creamy soft cheese. It's looking absolutely amazing. First job is to season it with the cheese salt. I know from past experience 1 teaspoon is perfect in this amount for us. But you can experiment as to how much is right for you, but add a little at a time. Remember, you can always add a little more, but you can't take it out. Give it a quick taste, and that's absolutely perfect. The next ingredient that I like to add is dried chives, and I like to add a couple of good teaspoons in mine. Now give that a good mix. Now there's enough soft cheese here to fill 5 of these ramekins. Each one holds 200 grams, that's 7 ounces. So you end up with an incredible 1 kilogram, that's 35 ounces of top quality delicious soft cheese. Right, I'll just finish that one off with a few chives on top. I'll fill 3 of the ramekins with this mix, and then I'll add a couple of more flavours to what's left for the other 2 ramekins. And in this little dish there's a ½ teaspoon each of paprika, chilli and garlic granules. Now give that a good mix. And we'll have a quick taste, and that's perfect. And that should be enough to fill the other 2 ramekins. And there you go, that's those done. Bit paprika on the top. And that's all 5 ramekins filled. And when I come back, we'll have a little taste. But before I taste that wonderful cheese, I hope you don't mind if I give you this quick message. With Christmas just around the corner, here's a quick word about my 5 recipe books. These carefully designed books, with most recipes linked to the corresponding recipe on video via QR codes, make fantastic presents. So, to avoid the holiday rush, get your orders in early. The link for the books and all of the other equipment I use in my recipes are in the description box under the video. And thanks in advance for supporting the channel, guys. Right, back to the cheese. I'll start with the first one we did. And that is so rich, smooth and sharp. Absolutely gorgeous. On to the second one. And once again smooth, very much like the first one, but with those added flavours, they taste even better. The first one is good, but the second one is definitely my favourite. And that's a big thumbs up for another great but easy cheese recipe, guys. And as promised earlier in the video, here is the latest name splash and shout out list, including YouTube's brand new loyalty membership supporters. And they are Metin Mansur, James Meninja, Shiny Shinier, Linda McDaniel, Jens K3250, and I think Dimitri Nikomanis. And I hope I got that right. Thanks very much, guys. I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. and by doing that you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.